Hello, it's July 5th. I want to bring you along for this culinary experiment I'm attempting. I've never done this meal like this, so I thought I'd tell you a little bit about it. Um, what I have right here is half of a pork tenderloin. It's apple something. It's got some type of bacon on top. It's seasoned. I put my own seasoning on it that I like to use. It's called McComick's Perfect Pinch Rotisserie Chicken Season. It's great on pork. So just want to get that statement out there. I don't hesitate because it says chicken rotisserie not to try it. So I've cut that pork tenderloin in half. So what I have done, I'm going to throw this on the grill right now. I have one of those foil sheets over here. I kind of had to fold it over a little bit because it was too big when I had these two pans in here. So this one in the back, I put the other half of the tenderloin in there, and I put a can of cream of mushroom on that. So I kind of mixed it over there. I put a couple dabs of white cooking wine that I like to use. It's the Holland House. So then in here, I was going to do a foil pack. This is going to be the same principle. I use a foil pan and some foil sheets on top. But I have I'm going to close that so it can start cooking. But I have some little bit of yellow squash sliced up thinly, probably like 1/4-inch chunks. I have some zucchini sliced up. These little tiny onions, they're good in soups. Something starts with a P. I forget what they are, but I always like those. So I peeled like 3 or 4 of those, put that into the mix. I have the little tiny baby carrots, the real thin ones. I really love those things. I mean, I'm like a carrot fanatic, but it's the little kind that come in like a 4-pack, 4 little packs, and you can use them like snacks, like dip it into your ranch or blue cheese, whatever. I love those things. So I have that into the foil pack as well. So then I have some of the little potatoes. I cleaned them all up and quartered them. I have that in there. So I put some spices in there. I know I'm forgetting something. So I know I put some parsley in there, but you'll see the finished product on the veggies, mixed veggies. Like I said, there's carrots, squash, zucchini, potatoes. I know there's something else in there. My mind's drawing a blank right now. I should have probably written it down for you. But this was kind of a quick impromptu. This is nothing really that well rehearsed. I'd had the pork tenderloin for a few days, and I was debating how I was going to do it. So I'm kind of doing the pork 2 different ways, and I'm going to like having the veggies. That's always something good. So when I did the veggies, I mixed everything into a bowl with some olive oil. I like that Bertolli virgin olive oil, so I use that, and then I put some seasoning in that as well. So, okay, the other ingredient, I knew there was another ingredient I was forgetting. It just dawned on me. Everything in there is fresh. The only thing I used that was any bit of frozen was these, I like the thinly sliced frozen mushrooms. They turn out really well. I do not like the mushrooms that, like, when you see it stems and pieces. I don't like those. They always taste like rubber to me, but I do like the whole button mushrooms when I use the stews. It gives it a whole new flavor and it tastes really well. So that's the other ingredient that I was forgetting was sliced mushrooms. You can use the fresh. I could have gone out and bought the fresh, but I already had the bag of the frozen, so that's what I'm going to go with. I'm not feeding anybody else, so it's just me. So I'm kind of doing, like I called it, a culinary experiment. So what I'm getting attacked by wasps out here. I guess they want some pork too. But let me shut this off. I'm going to let this thing do its thing, and I'll be right back to you, folks. Okay, I'm back. Briefly, I was prepping a couple things, trying to figure out a nice way to present this when it's all done. But the one thing I forgot to tell you, I have a little smoker box, and I always love cooking with hickory. So I have the hickory chips in the smoker box. I have everything set on low right now. I may kick it up just a notch just to get some of that hickory working. But she should start smoking here pretty soon. I did watch another video recently, and I forget what the guy said. I think he said do the pork tenderloin at 30 or 35 minutes. I think he said at 350. So this is a little bit hotter right now. It's showing 450. I don't think this temperature gauge is totally spot on, but I'm going to come back to you folks here once we get this a little bit closer to completion. It was funny, as I was talking to you, I saw a message pop up on top of my screen, and I always put my phone on airplane mode when I'm trying to do a video, and today I forgot. So fortunately I didn't have anybody calling in, and normally today, Tuesday, is trash day, and I'm not sure if they're coming out today. Also, recycling is also on the same day. So I've noticed there's quite a few cans out. I think people are maybe just putting them out just in case they do come today. Chances are they're going to come tomorrow, but hopefully we're not going to hear any noise with any trash trucks. But just killing some time right now, just waiting for this meal to be set. What I'm going to do, I'm trying to show you the presentation I'm going to have. I'm going to have all the mixed veggies in this little plate here, and then I'm going to slice up a couple pieces here, try and get an overhead shot of the meal once I'm done. But that's my goal. And honestly, I'm not expecting anything fancy, but it's something different. I'm excited about the mixed veggies. That's going to be pretty good. I need to eat a little bit healthier. But like I said, one thing I always use in any type of meal, I always use thyme. So in the mixed veggies, I have some thyme, salt and pepper, and all the other ingredients. There was a little bit of parsley in there. But I'll be back in a minute, folks. So I just want to tell you what I did. I don't know. I should have checked the time on this when I started. But what I did was I noticed that back pan that had the pork in there with the cream of mushroom. Like I said, it's also got that bacon that they put on, with the original packaging. So it sounded like it was boiling a little bit. So I opened up the foil. I checked it out. It was kind of like on a slow boil, like slow roll, I guess you would say. I turned it over, so it's going to cook evenly throughout. And then the foil, the foil pack veggies are up front. I think they're going to be okay. I didn't open that up. I forgot to bring my oven mitt outside. So we're just going to go with it, but it's kind of where we are at this point, and I'll be back to you. Just to forewarn you, I do hear some trucks up the street. Sounds like it could be trash trucks. So I'm going to try and I'll pause this, systematically, so you don't have to hear any of that stuff. You don't care about waste management, neither do I. So I just didn't have to. I wanted to do some research because it drives me nuts when I know the name of something, I forget it. So I'm getting back to talking about those little onions, the little ones. They're called pearl onions. I don't know why I couldn't remember that, but so that's what I have in there. I think that's going to give it a lot of flavor. The whole mix should be pretty nice. I really wanted to do that foil pack. I have the foil sheets, and I had a little more veggies than I felt comfortable with using I have the Reynolds aluminum foil sheets, and then I had some regular cheap dollar store foil that I didn't feel real confident. I wanted it to stay. And these little foil pans I'm using are real thick, so they're real nice. I'm glad I found those. But so that's what I've done. Pretty much same principle. Probably the only thing, it's not filled to the brim. So maybe if it's just tighter and you just keep flipping, it's going to cook quicker. But we'll find out. I think we're going to be okay. I may need to stir that mix here. I don't know. So I want to give you a quick sneak peek at the veggies. I decided I need to stir these. I haven't stirred it yet. I want to show it to you, as is, and now I'm going to stir it. The reason I'm out here stirring it, because I can hear Piggy up there in Georgia telling me, "Gee, Money, you better stir it. You're going to burn your veggies." So I'm pretty sure that's what he's thinking. So I'm going to get to it here. So that's what it looks like now. I'm going to stir it up a little bit. What I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to pause this in a second. I'm going to run inside. I'm going to get a little more dab of the olive oil and a little sprinkle of the white cooking wine, and I'm going to be back. I got to tell you something. This is kind of funny. Just made me laugh to myself here. you ever try and hit the play button on your phone while you're filming with an oven mitt? I do not suggest it. Anyway, you can watch me attempt to try and get this foil back on here without burning myself. I will say it's looking pretty good so far. Who's that guy from Hell's Kitchen who's always yelling at people? I hope he doesn't watch this because he's probably yelling somehow. Chef, the guy from Hell's Kitchen, what's his name again? Anyway, so that's what we got going on. The veggies are looking pretty good. I think adding that little bit of more moisture in there is going to help it out there. It looked like a little bit of the stuff at the bottom was starting to stick because everything is kind of like evaporated, I guess you would say. We're good with the mushroom soup on that pork tenderloin. This other one looks like it's going pretty good. So I'm not going to rush the process. I'm going to try and be patient, something I'm not very good at, but I'll be back to you. I'm laughing. I've got my garden over here, and there's a lot of critters around. When I talk about critters, I mean like the lizards. I guess they love feeding on all the little bugs and insects and stuff, which is, helps out for the resident like me. But I remember when I first moved here to Florida, I knew about the lizards and the geckos and all that. And now I don't even flinch when I see one. When I first moved here, you see something scurrying on the ground. Where I'm from up north, you're expecting to see a rat or something if you just catch a quick glimpse. Now I don't even flinch. Like I name them. I name all these, I don't remember which one's which, but I give them little nicknames, like Julio, Roger, Otis, stuff like that. Makes me laugh. Keeps me entertained while I'm cooking. While I was on a little break, waiting for this to get to the right temperature and everything, I was looking over at my veg plants. They're all doing pretty good. I did lose one tomato plant, and that was kind of a little bit of my neglect. The other ones are doing pretty good. Just some days lately it gets so hot. Sometimes I forget to water them. They're under shade, probably a little more than they need to, but they're for the most part are doing pretty well. I've got this one. I've never seen a tomato plant like this before. It's probably 5 feet tall, close to 5 feet tall, and it's got these little tiny tomatoes on it. I mean, they literally look slightly bigger than like a pearl, and maybe a little bit smaller than like a marble. But those were so abundant, and lately I haven't had a whole lot of those. And I picked them. My mom likes eating them like snacks, and I came in yesterday, and I have those 3 and 4 rung tomato cages, and I saw a little bird sitting on the second rung from the top, and he was pecking. So I guess he found his free buffet. So that could be the reason. I know with this heat, tomatoes aren't going to do as well, but I just thought I'd share that little tidbit of information. If anybody knows what that little tomato is called, because it doesn't really say, I think on the tag it says like cherry tomato, but it's the little tiniest things I've ever seen in my life. But I definitely like the bigger cherry, traditional tomatoes. I have one Roma tomato plant. It's growing like weeds, and it's only produced one decent sized Roma tomato. I don't know why. It's got good soil. It gets plenty of water, and I don't know, but I'm trying to figure it out. I'll be back to you. I did check the one pork tenderloin that's not in the mushroom soup. So I checked that, gave it a little slice on the end to see how it's still a little pink, but it won't be long now. So I'll give you an update. All right, good news to report. I just opened it up, and I can start to see the hickory chips starting to smoke up a little bit. So that's a good sign. It's going to definitely add flavor. I talked about in some of my previous videos, I'm not a big fan of mesquite. I mean, I could use it in a pinch, but hickory, I just love hickory. And then I also have apple wood and some other type of wood in there that I use from time to time. But just thought I'd share that. What's your favorite wood that you guys like to cook with? Or do you use the pellets, or I know a lot of people have those Traegers, stuff like that. I'm just not financially able to do that, but so far this grill's been pretty good to me. So I've got no complaints. I just use that little $5, $10 smoker box, and it doesn't look the prettiest, but it works just fine. It really does. I just always leave it up on the top, rack where you rest your foods. If I put it down below, it'd probably smoke quicker. But this is kind of tight on here, tight quarters, because I have the two big foil pans. I have the other perforated foil pan. I kind of flipped it over, and I have the tenderloin on that. So it's kind of a little crowded there, but it's working. So I just checked the veggies again. I stirred them just a little bit. They're looking almost to perfection. So they're going to be coming off the grill here soon. Then I'm going to turn the other foil pan. It's kind of right over the other burner, and I've cut that down a little bit so it doesn't boil and cook too quickly. But we're almost there. We're almost there. I just pulled the veggies off. I put it on the side arm, the side wing, or whatever you call that. It's going to be resting for a little bit. And I was thinking, the way we learn in lives sometimes is by screwing up. So I just thought I'd share this one cooking tip I kind of learned the hard way. Stupidity on my part, but whenever I can, I try and save money. In today's times especially, you need to know how to save money. I've had these oven mitts for a little while. I replace them from time to time. I tend to do a lot of cooking, and sometimes they get a little dirty, and they're $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. So I always get, I like to change up the themes, but in my place, in my kitchen area, it's kind of like a country theme, chickens, roosters, and farm fresh milk, and those type of signs. So that's what I like to do. I remember one, I don't remember what the meal was, but I had a cast iron skillet on the grill. And I was cooking something on there, and I had these cheap oven mitts on, and when I grabbed that handle of that cast iron skillet, woo, almost set G-Money on fire. That is like the whatever this was made of, cheap cotton or something. I don't know what's that. It was clinging to the handle, and I just quickly got my hands out of there. But I know there's like a high temp oven mitts, and I do suggest that. I need to get that. But as I was playing with these foil lid, the wrap on it, it just reminded me of that story. So has anybody else made that type of mistake, or am I the only idiot out there in the world? But so I definitely need to invest, in some high quality oven mitts. So I guess once I get, burns, second degree burns, it'll be a high priority. I'm going to show you the final product. I tried to make a decent presentation for you, so hang tight. Let me readjust this camera, this tripod, and I'll show you. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see it. My video skills are not that good. I was trying to turn it around, and I don't know how to do that while I have the thing on pause. But it looks really darn good to me, and I'm going to take a thumbnail picture and tell me what you think. I think the veggies are done perfect. The right side, it looks really good. The left side, I sprinkled some of that, I drizzled some of that cream of mushroom over, and that looks good. I honestly think everything looks like it's cooked well. I'm going to give it a taste test, and I'll tell you what I think later. It'll probably be in the comments. But all right, folks, I appreciate your time, and talk to you on the next one.